You are now hearing my voice manually. This is Synoptic, and I'm doing another double battle commentary for Medieval 2 Total War. This time I'm playing as Spain using 4 dismounted feudal knights, 4 dismounted conquistadors, 2 musketeers, 7 heavy cavalry, 3 genets, and a general's bodyguard. My opponent, Granado, playing as Venice, is using 6 musketeers, 7 Venetian heavy infantry, along with 4 stratiots who are light cavalry placed on his flanks. Noticing my opponent's long-range units, I'm going to use a pretty simple strategy here. I'm going to mass all my infantry, main body, to one side and attack with my entire force as heavily as possible. All the while, I'm going to use my cavalry to micro my opponent's face-off. So here I got all my genets, making a pretty textbook trap here with my heavy cavalry. So I ran away with my genets, charging my heavy cav. So got his 2 stratiots here, light cavalry. At this point, fully enveloped.
We need to act.
And there's that commentator again. I turned off the advice, but he still likes to talk whenever he wants. As sharp as ever, by the way. I am under attack. I mean, if you can't tell you're under attack in a video game where there's no micromanagement in resources, this isn't like Age of Empires where we have to maintain a city or anything. You just have to fight, and if you can't tell you are being under attack in the fight, I suggest a healthy dosage of cyanide. So he tried to charge my musketeers here. I reinforced with dismounted knights and hammer and anviled that area immediately with chivalric knights. He tried to send another stratiot to my flank. I defused it with heavy cavalry again, and I got another heavy cavalry unit coming up on the flank to close his coffin.
Your men are marching. Your grass requires lawnmower.
So I'm going to maintain my assault as I planned. Nothing too much has gone out of plan yet. If one thing's for certain, he's lost all his cavalry at this point, so I don't have much to worry about there. Okay, back at the start we noticed all my cavalry killing the ones on his left with the bait. You can see them in the distance over there, running up there. I'm going to force him to send units to reinforce that area. What I'm going to do with those cavalry is that I'm going to bypass whatever defense he sets up, which pulls units out. Something I always like to do. The thing about these musketeers is once my units get there, they have no chance. They're not like Empire Total War infantry, line infantry, where they can actually fight. They got nothing. So after I made contact with my infantry, I'm going to start hitting him with my cavalry. So there was one unit. I'm going to hit the sides because he had 2 musketeers guarding the rear, so I couldn't really do a rear charge until I destroyed the rear units. Okay, over here you can see my cavalry bypassing the defenses here. He had 3 heavy infantry units in defense of my obvious upcoming cavalry, but what I did was obviously, as I said, bypassed it, and I sent them all to the middle. So I'm going to destroy the middle and the right as fast as possible and save the left side for last. And that's my plan. It's, as you can probably hear, there's not much to it. In this game, it's almost all comes down to micro as opposed to actual strategy, whereas say Empire Total War is almost all strategy and not that much micro. So there goes my opponent's general. Not much to go now. Some more Venetian infantry. I had to take note that he had a lot more heavy infantry than me, and they were a lot better too.
Only half the enemy force remains.
They all use that hammer, which is very effective against heavy infantry, or armoured infantry for that matter. You can see in the background all the yellow, all my cavalry just running amok.
All of Christendom
And his admitted defeat.
by the victory we have won here today.
So that was a mass charge on one side, a fakey charge on the left, heavy cavalry charge on the right, as well as just simple bait at the start. Good game to Granado. Rightio, and in this battle I'm playing as Hungary, using 4 crossbows, 4 dismounted chivalric knights, 3 Parvise spearmen, 4 heavy cavalry, 4 nobles, who are archers, and a general's bodyguard. Okay, you can probably see that I'm starting to collapse my entire army. I'll zoom out. So I'm moving in on my flanks. I'm sending out 3 archers on my right flank right now, and 1 archer cavalry on my left. I'm doing this because my opponent is almost all cavalry. So he joins my game and says, how much cavalry can I use, Synoptic? And I said, whatever you like. So I'm not really a happy chappy because of this, but it's okay. You have to be very good with micromanagement to win with cavalry, all cavalry. It is possible. In fact, against an inexperienced player, it'd probably be easier than normal. to win with all cav. He's already started charging here, as you can see. And I'm not really going to fall back that many of my crossbows, just to absorb some fire. I think I'm going to fall back my right one though. He tries to get behind me on my flanks with his cavalry, with a lot of cavalry actually. So it's going to be my main objective to plug the gaps. If he gets into my rear with cavalry, it's an instant loss for me. I'll have absolutely no chance if that happens. So that's why I collapsed my flanks. I highly advise this against an opponent with more cavalry than you, or one who's heavy on the maneuver. So if someone's coming up like this, just pull some units back, almost like a right angle. Very simple, very effective. Now I said before I put a lot of my archer cavalry out there on the right side, and I'm pushing them back now for some hammer and anvil. That unique thing called hammer and anvil, that thing which is like really hard to do and it's really unique. So these Hungarian nobles can actually fight, take note of that. He's going to send some of his reserves. Probably didn't even think he needed these to win, but he's going to have to send them anyway. And the thing is with these nobles, you have to be very, again, heavy on micromanagement. They're quite fragile against heavy cavalry, one-on-one, they won't last at all. Okay, let's go back to the left side. He's faring much better since I only had one noble to come back, and he's already started chasing it. So he shut them down, so I have to run away temporarily. But I'll come back with him, no doubt about that. Now in tradition, I always lose my middle. I think that's because I'm doing all my maneuvering on the flanks, and I don't really do anything in the middle. Regardless, I'm going to be shooting my crossbows right into them. Very effective against heavy infantry. Okay, so I started sending some nobles out, and then I reinforced with my heavy cav. And I'm doing some more hammer and anvil at this point, as you see here.
Only half the enemy force remains.
I won't make a joke this time, I promise. Tempting. So the major thing is making him chase me. So as you can see there, I ran away. I'm doing it again here. He keeps trying to send units against specifically my nobles. When he does that, they're outside the main fight, and running away means they're completely useless. So he's achieving nothing with those chasing units. They could be used to fight in the game. So the middle guys are actually routing now, just because they got touched by my nobles the whole time they were being shot. So here's my left noble here, coming in. Noticing he committed that heavy cavalry unit, I was able to do something with him. And there goes these beloved peasants. So not much left. The major part of this was immobilizing his cavalry. Once they stop the charge, they're not that dangerous. So a popular tactic is just to keep running out and back. He's already admitted defeat, so it's pretty much grounded at this point. Not much movement. So that was a good game to Krinsonko. Thanks for watching.